Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Paula Dagnan. We start tonight with a fire, this time in Schuylkill County. Fire crews were called to the Ringtown Mill and Hardware on West Main Street around 1:30 this morning. When crews arrived, they found flames shooting through the roof. Firefighters battled that fire for about 2 hours before being able to bring the flames under control. Crews from Schuylkill, Luzerne, Columbia, and Northumberland counties all working through the morning to extinguish the fire. There was no word as to a cause of the fire, but a state police fire marshal expected to be called to assist in the investigation. We now know it was 11-year-old Aiden Middlemiss who died from injuries sustained in a fire early Tuesday morning in Pittston. Crews were called out around 1 a.m. and found the home on Wood Street engulfed in flames and smoke. Aiden was removed from a second-floor window and taken for treatment. An autopsy showed he died from breathing in too much smoke. No cause for the fire has been released. Grief counselors were at the Pittston Area Middle School and will be there again tomorrow from 8 until 1 for families, students, and staff who knew the fifth grader at Martin Mattei Middle School. Meanwhile, 3 juveniles were arrested late last night, and they will be charged in juvenile court in connection with that fatal fire on Tuesday. Because the 3 will be charged in juvenile court, what charges they will face or their ages will not be released. We're learning more about a crash that happened Monday in Hometown. Rush Township police say 38-year-old John Pickens was driving the car that slammed into the home on Route 54. Police say Pickens tried to run off after that crash. It was Pickens' second crash of the day in Rush Township. Police say this one happened as he was fleeing the scene of the first crash in the 200 block of Claremont Avenue. He was taken into custody and taken to St. Luke's for a blood test. Police say the investigation into the crash is ongoing and charges are pending. A Hanover Township man will spend up to 10 years in prison for a hit and run that took place in that part of Luzerne County in May of last year. Emiliano Hernandez entered a guilty plea this past May for striking Peter Mangino on Oxford and Luzerne streets with his vehicle, then leaving the scene. The 56-year-old died several days later from injuries. During his sentencing hearing yesterday, Hernandez apologized to the man's family. Almost 24 animals were rescued from a home in Mahanoy Township on Tuesday. Late Tuesday afternoon, Mahanoy Township Police, Mahanoy Township Code Enforcement, and members of the Hillside SPCA were at 65 High Road in the Park Place section of the township after a prior investigation led to the finding of the animals. The owner willingly surrendered 18 animals, including 3 dogs and 15 cats. The animals will now be evaluated to determine their conditions. The Valley Chiefs can relax now after last night's meeting in Sugarloaf Township. WYLN's Julia Wiegand has those details.
It was pushed to the top of the agenda to discuss the lights over on Joe LaRocque Sports Complex last night in Sugarloaf Township. Supervisors heard from both sides of the field concerning a lighting issue. Complainants protested about the lights from the field shining through their windows and into their homes while the Valley Chiefs practice. Originally, the township sought to take care of the issue, but the situation escalated to both the complainants and the entire Valley Chiefs organization, past and present, to come forward at the supervisors meeting.
All of our Valley Chief family came to support and make sure that the Chiefs could still stay at Joe LaRocque Field for the next 50 years.
The complainants, which were 3 families living near the field, stated that they never wanted to shut down the Chiefs, but needed to come to a crossroads to benefit both their families and the Valley Chiefs. After both parties pled their cases, Gold Supermarket manager Brian Ratzwich, whose family originally bought those lights for the field, spoke out amongst the chaos.
It was brought to my attention that there was conflict going on between a local football organization, Valley Chiefs, and homeowners because of lighting over there. My grandparents helped put those lights in there several years ago. I've played for the Valley Chiefs. My kids have played football, they cheerleaded, and I don't like to see this kind of stuff going on in the community. So we came here to support not just the Valley Chiefs, but come to a resolution. And when they were going on and on, I just figured, you know what? It's lights. There's a fix to this. If we have to replace the lights and put different lights or whatever we have to do to fix this, we're going to do this because I don't want to see conflict. I want these kids out there playing like every other parent.
Ratzwich agreed to foot the bill to hire a professional to come in and take a look at the lights to find a solution. The Bush family, one of the 3 complainant families, also volunteered to help out with the costs so that the Valley Chiefs organization wouldn't have to.
I was shocked and happy at the same time because we could finally put this to bed. It's been 4.5, almost 5 years in the making, so at least we can get it finally resolved and everybody could be happy and the Chiefs could go, still play, and everybody be safe and the community still happy.
Here's to another season for Valley Chiefs players and cheerleaders as both parties will begin to work together to fix this lighting issue. Reporting in Sugarloaf Township for Wyln News, I'm Julia Wiegand.
And coming up on Wyln News, state police stats of the 4th of July, plus keeping learning fun this summer. But first, let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. Rain and rumbles of thunder possible overnight. Tomorrow, some sunshine, scattered showers late in the day. And how about that weekend? Nice. We'll be right back.
Don't make the big box mistake. Shop local and save at Grand Central in Hazleton. Get better prices than the big box store on our huge selection of furniture, mattresses, appliances, and electronics at Grand Central in Hazleton and at the Laurel Mall.
For 4 generations, All-American Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram has been treating their customers like family. Stop in to get the lowest financing options and best service around. Whether you're in need of a Ram pickup or have an active family lifestyle or simply want to show off your fun, adventurous side, All-American Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram of Tamaqua has a wide variety of inventory to choose from. Stop in and take advantage of the summer clearance event.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Don't make the big box mistake. Shop local and save at Grand Central in Hazleton. Get better prices than the big box store on our huge selection of furniture, mattresses, appliances, and electronics at Grand Central in Hazleton and at the Laurel Mall.
Pennsylvania State Police had a pretty busy Independence Day weekend. In our area, troopers made 607 arrests for driving under the influence and issued over 12,000 speeding citations during the 5-day driving period from July 3rd through the 7th. Troopers responded to 975 crashes in which 287 people were injured. 9 people lost their lives in these crashes. The 2018 Independence Day statistics revealed that only 3 lives were lost in 581 crashes. Troopers based in West Hazleton and Schuylkill County reported at least 50 crashes in each area, resulting in over 30 people injured, over 90 DUI citations, and over 1,200 speeding citations. Food, fun, and most importantly, reading. It all happened today at Cole Street Park in Wilkes-Barre. WYLN's Julie Stefanovich was there with the story.
Children in the Wyoming Valley are staying sharp this summer, both physically and mentally, by participating in Imagination Station Cafe at Food and Fun in the Park. The United Way of Wyoming Valley joined the Wilkes-Barre Family YMCA to celebrate National Summer Learning Week. The kids at Cole Street Park were treated to story time, a free lunch, and books.
The books are part of the United Way of Wyoming Valley's annual children's book drive. We collect almost 11,000 books each year and help distribute them to children in the community.
The program helps prevent the summer slide, which happens when children fall behind and lose valuable math and reading skills during their time off from school.
So United Way of Wyoming Valley is really championing the summer slide because it affects children's ability to be proficient readers by the end of third grade, which is so important to a children being able to complete school on time. Children who are not reading on grade level by the end of third grade are 4 times more likely to drop out or not complete school on time.
Imagination Station and food and fun in the park can be found at 7 sites, including the YMCA in Wilkes-Barre.
We get food provided to us through Mount Zion Church, and we provide the children throughout the city with lunches and snack throughout the day. We also have activities, and the reading teachers come around and read a story and do an activity to keep up that literacy throughout the summer.
Thompson has been involved with the program for the last 5 years.
And I look forward to it every summer. It's a fabulous program. We meet a bunch of kids throughout the city, and it's great to give back to the community. A lot of the kids that have come to the Y, I started with them when they were 4 or 5 years old, and now they're 9, 10, 11, and every year they come back looking for me, and it's a great feeling to know that they're looking for me every summer. I'm making a difference in the kids' lives.
If you're a parent or guardian who would like to have their child involved in the program, you can find out more by visiting unitedwaywb.org or wbymca.org. In Wilkes-Barre for Wyln News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Luzerne County Manager David Pedri announcing that school tax bills will be out by August 1st. The announcement comes after there were questions about if the county would be able to produce the information needed to school officials following that cyber attack on the county's computer network. Pedri told County Council, "We feel very strongly that school bills will be ready to go out." The county's real estate database has not been restored since county officials shut down the computer network after the cyber attack was discovered in late May. The county advised districts that normally mail tax bills in July to push back the mailing date to August 1st. Pedri Tuesday said the date is still a realistic target, even though the database has yet to be restored. The governor is hoping to put Pennsylvania on top when it comes to STEM education. WYLN News intern Nicole Ambrish has more on that.
Governor Tom Wolf is hoping to make Pennsylvania a leader in STEM education through his PA Smart initiative. STEM, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, as well as computer science education, has been incorporated into Pennsylvania schools and businesses within the last 10 years.
The PA Smart initiative and what it's done in high schools and elementary schools, and secondary schools, teachers, administrators have been able to expand school offerings. Students have actually, as we saw, have had fun learning things that we need them to learn. And as a result, Pennsylvania is actually now the second leading state in the nation for dedicated computer science education.
Wolf secured the vast majority of his bold budget plan to strengthen PA's workforce and highlight how his PA Smart initiative is preparing students and workers for good careers in emerging industries. Guided by the recommendations of business and workers, PA Smart makes strategic investments to help close the skills gap and train more people for jobs that employees need. In its first year, the Wolf administration awarded nearly $10 million in PA Smart grants to over 700 schools to expand computer science and STEM classes and teacher training.
That in addition to the $30 million that was in last year's budget for PA Smart, there's an additional $10 million this year to increase the investment we're making as Pennsylvanians in STEM education.
The project includes computer science and STEM camps and after-school programs, STEM programming for pre-K to second grade students in classrooms, a mobile fabrication lab where students gain hands-on experience in coding and robotics, the expansion of a Western Pennsylvania STEM lending library to serve hundreds of school districts, and support for diversity and inclusion on esports teams in high-need areas. The governor visited with students at a summer STEM camp at Harrisburg University of Science and Technology. The students are learning to use drones to benefit agriculture, including create highly accurate aerial photos and maps using GPS and GIS technologies.
Computer science and other STEM fields not just give you information about new topics and new experiences that help you to think about things in a little bit different way that you can apply to all other areas, especially computer science, where everything is technology and technology is constantly moving forward and it's never standing still. It's something that will always be needed in the future.
With PA Smart, Pennsylvania is a national leader in STEM and computer science education. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Nicole Ambrish.
And we want to wish Nicole all the best as she ends her time with us at this time during the summer and moves on to more exciting adventures. Kevin O'Donnell, who has led Greater Hazleton's economic development growth for more than 4.5 decades, announced to the Can-Do Board of Directors that he will retire as president and chief executive officer at the close of 2020. O'Donnell started at Can-Do in 1973 as assistant director. He held that position until being promoted to director in 1984. In 1995, the title was changed to president, a position he's held since. O'Donnell has helped to bring regional, national, and global companies to Greater Hazleton that have resulted in thousands of jobs and hundreds of millions of dollars annually for the local economy. In addition to his work with economic development, O'Donnell was also active in the community and received several awards for his work. Coming up on Inglewood's News Choice, safe playground tips on Wellness Wednesday, plus news from local sports teams. Stay with us.
It's okay that everybody ignores me when I drive. It's fine, because I get a safe driving bonus check every 6 months I'm accident-free. Because I don't use my cell phone when I'm driving, even though my family does and leaves me all alone. Here's something else. I don't share it with Mom. Right, Mom? I have a brand new putter you don't even know about. It's awesome.
Safe driving bonus checks only from Allstate. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazleton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown in the Hometown Village Square. S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Tri-County has been keeping your office up to speed since 1969. Everything your office needs: office supplies, personal and custom business forms, business cards, office furniture, new and used office equipment, copy, print, and scan solutions with wide format capabilities. Leasing is also available, free off-street parking, and free local delivery. Tri-County Business Machines, 117 East Broad Street in Hazleton, 570-459-0754. Family owned and operated since 1969.
Welcome to Community and You. It's Wellness Wednesday here on WYLN. Thanks to our friends at Lehigh Valley Health Network. And today, Dr. Andrew Miller is joining me to talk about playground safety. Summer, school's out. Kids are spending a lot more time out at the playground. They get that nice freedom out there. But we see a lot of dangerous scenarios happen at playgrounds. Even though a lot of playgrounds have been updated, we're seeing a lot of new safety equipment, but there's still some dangers out there. So one of the big things you said, head injuries. We see a lot of head injuries this time of year at the playground. So what do you see, and how can these be prevented?
Yeah, so again, thanks for having me, Gary. I think about 200,000 children every year go to the ER because of playground injuries. Out of those, about 20,000 of them are from actually head injuries and from concussion. Mm-hmm. And so this is a really important thing and something that you may not think about because it's a fun place to be. Mm-hmm. And so what happens is the kids like to climb and then they fall, unfortunately. And especially if it's 5 feet or higher, mm-hmm. That's where we can really see some catastrophic injuries. If you have a child that comes in, they hit their head, for instance, they get knocked out, or if they have vomiting, or if they have swelling, especially on the side or back of their head, mm-hmm. these are the children absolutely that I want to be evaluated in the emergency room because they could have some serious injury.
Is it always with any type of head injury, especially in a small child who may not completely understand what's going on? They fall off the slide or the swing, bump their head. Of course they're going to cry. How to tell parents go get it checked just in case, because you know what, you can say, oh, you know, be okay, put some ice on it, but you really don't know the extent of the injury.
Yeah, you absolutely don't. I mean, and of course, I worry about all kinds of the head injury that you can get, not only fractures to the skull or bleeding in the brain, but concussions. And so that takes a careful evaluation, especially, and then to start treatment kind of around that. So I always recommend evaluation, you know, for any kind of head injury.
So we also see a lot of climbing injuries. You know, we can get up on the jungle gym, or we're crawling across something maybe we shouldn't be crawling across. As a former kid, you know, we did all those kind of stupid things, you know, that we probably shouldn't have. We see a lot of injuries with this. Again, the falling, or they could be stuck. We've seen a lot of things that kids may get stuck in something. So what are some of the big things that you see, and some of the big warning signs for parents to look out for?
Yeah, by far the most thing that I see is fractures. So they break their arms, their legs, you know, whatever, and it's from falling, from climbing. And so especially monkey bars, you know, these climbing rock walls that we see more and more, especially as I mentioned before, if you're above 5 feet, you're more likely to break something. And so things like that is important. As a parent, when you go to the playground, check to see the ground, okay? The ground should be soft. They now are, you know, a lot of these playgrounds are fitted with mulch and things so that it dampens the blow. These are the ones that are, you know, certainly safer for our children. All that kind of thing will prevent some of this. Strangulation injuries can happen. So when you do take your child, don't have like cords hanging down, you know, hoodies, things like that, because that can get wrapped up in chains or like the swings and this kind of thing. And so we sometimes see that.
All right. So also one of my favorite things when we were kids, sliding boards. You know, it was always great. You had the big ones, the small ones. Metal ones that have now been phased out, and we could probably tell you lots of stories, but we won't go into that now. But the sliding board injuries we see, they, you know, could come down, they're falling off the board, landing on the rear end, but you know that still could be a hard blow sometimes, and they could see some injuries with that.
Yeah, there's a couple things with sliding boards that I sometimes see. One is certainly the younger kids on these bigger boards that they shouldn't be. So age-appropriate playground equipment is always important. So they go flying down. If they go head first, can't do that, you know, because then you'll go head first and then you'll head first into the ground, for sure. But one of the biggest things that I see that as parents we don't realize is you want your 2-year-old to go down the slide, but they're scared, and so they'll go down with you. So they take the child, put it on the lap, and they'll go down. Well, that's fine, except what happens is the child kicks their leg out, hits the side of the board, you keep going, and then we see a leg fracture, break their leg. So I never recommend going down with another child.
And also, as you said, age appropriate. So if a small child, make sure they're in the special seats they have for them, not just out on the regular seats on the swings, and making sure that, you know, watching what's going on. I know a lot of times it's a very busy world. Maybe you're going to the playground with 2 or 3 of your kids, you know, and you're trying to keep eyes on what's going on. Could be very, very stressful for mom and dad. Also, just pay attention, know what they're doing, and don't be afraid to say, you know, no, that you're not old enough for that just yet.
Right. No, I think that's great advice. And then the last thing I do want to say is overcrowding. So sometimes these things get tons of kids on, and so that's where a lot of injuries can happen. You're banging into other kids, you know, things that you don't even realize. And so I think that's great advice. You know, as far as, you know, being a parent, you know, and just, you know, realizing that your child's safety is really important.
So when you're heading out to the playground, just keep these things in the back of your mind. We want you to have a fun summer vacation. We want you to go out and enjoy the outdoors, but be safe about it. And remember, if something happens, you're not just sure, call your doctor. You know, best thing to do, and so that way you get it checked out and you don't have to worry about if something else could happen. Dr. Miller, thanks so much.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time here on Wellness Wednesday and Community and You.
Pocono Raceway is summertime, where the kids are free, where fans become friends, where good times roll, and the racing is always a little tricky. Bring your friends, bring your family, just bring it, Pocono style. New this year, the Great Pocono Raceway Air Show.
Krugel's Georgetown Deli and Beer is more than just a great place to grab 6-packs to go. You can also enjoy great draft beer, including their exclusive Friornina milk stouts. Take it to go in a crowler, or mix and match bottles of your favorite craft beers. Or just cool down with one of their slushies. Check out the Georgetown Pub Fare menu, including their Flight and Bites with your choice of sauces and 5-ounce draft beers. Stop in and play Keno or other Pennsylvania lottery games. Don't forget to check out their website and Facebook for tasting events. Krugel's Georgetown Deli and Beer in Wilkes-Barre Township, right next to the Big Cow. If you watch WYLN over the air with an antenna, you may need to perform a rescan to keep watching beginning July 15th, as WYLN will begin broadcasting on their new digital transmitter, providing better service to our viewers. While some digital converter boxes do this automatically, some do not. Consult your owner's manual on how to run a channel scan. Cable subscribers will not be affected, and WYLN cable channels will remain the same. Please visit fcc.gov/rescan for more details.
The AAA All-Star Game is tonight in El Paso, Texas. 4 members of the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders will be taking part in the game. For the International League, they will be taking on the Pacific Coast League. And the AHL announcing home openers yesterday. The Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins will be making their 2019-20 season debut October 12th at Mohegan Sun Arena against Utica. However, they open the season in Hershey October 5th. That's the news. Remember, you can get news updates on our WYLN News Facebook page. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next here on WYLN TV.
For 4 generations, All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram has been treating their customers like family. Stop in to get the lowest financing options and best service around. Whether you're in need of a Ram pickup or have an active family lifestyle,